Would you like to be absolutely confident that your scheme complies with the national space standards under the strictest scrutiny? Whilst councils are very pro-development, at least in public, when it comes to ambitious schemes that really optimize site use, officers tend to fine-comb through drawings with magnifying glasses, and if there are mistakes, they will find them. Hello, I'm Victor Rohacs from Rohacs Architects. For over 8 years, we have been helping our clients maximize residential development value in and around London, often on tight sites where every square foot matters. National space standards compliance is one of the most common and most underestimated risks that we see. We learned this the hard way because most of our planning submissions have been meticulously checked by case officers because we were always pushing for the maximum envelope for our clients. Sometimes we made mistakes and we learned from them. Sometimes officers interpreted the standards very differently and we learned from that too. Sometimes there were very different views on how, for example, the gross internal area should be measured. And yes, we learned from that too. We use this experience routinely reviewing schemes that our clients are intending to purchase before money is committed. Just because something was approved before, it doesn't mean it's safe. Developers often say it's already approved, they didn't notice. That might be true, but the moment you go back for a minor amendment, a variation, or try to sell the site, someone else might notice, and when they do, it will directly affect your values. The number one issue we see is GIA, or gross internal area compliance. The national space standards define apartment gross internal area as the area measured between the internal finished faces of the perimeter walls, excluding areas with headroom below 1.5 meters. That sounds simple in practice, but gets very complicated very easily. Because under the RICS guidance, GIA does include services, columns, and areas of reduced height. In all minds, the GIA defined by the national space standards actually sits somewhere closer to the net sellable area, but at planning stage, layouts are tested specifically against the space standards definition. Recently, we even had a case officer query whether service falls behind a bathroom or toilet should be included in the GIA figures. Their interpretation was that they should be excluded. Was that our interpretation? No, because they weren't part of the perimeter walls. Did we comply? Yes, because that's how you get schemes through. Bedrooms don't just have minimum areas, they also have minimum width defined. A very common failure happens when a bedroom has got a narrower part near the entrance next to an ensuite or a bathroom. In those cases, the width is going to be measured at the narrowest point at the entrance, and suddenly the bedroom that just looked fine is going to fail. The solution is simple. If you slightly oversize the bedroom, make sure that there's a clean rectangular area that meets both the area and the width requirements. Label and dimension those clearly on the drawings, because if it's not obvious, it will be questioned. One of the most effective ways to avoid problems is to prepare a unit-by-unit compliance schedule, something like this. It allows us to rigorously check our own work, spot issues before submission, and make the case officer's job much easier. And anything that makes the officer's life easier ultimately is going to help your application. National space standards compliance isn't about squeezing numbers. It's about understanding how the standards are interpreted, anticipating scrutiny, and designing layouts that can withstand challenges, not just approval. That's how you protect your value. I hope you found this video interesting, and although we made all reasonable efforts to make sure that the information in this video is accurate at the time of release, it is only intended for educational purposes, so please do not treat this video as a professional advice. Make sure you consult a professional about your own project. Many thanks for watching, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the next episodes.